Good evening and welcome. So, another last stream before vacation. Going to Barcelona tomorrow with my daughter. So, tomorrow morning. So, let's not hope for any hype trains tonight. That's a small wish, isn't it? Right. And yeah, there was a new something on DSP. Don't care. I do care that it's better performance. That's awesome. But what I don't yeah, I'm not gonna be playing it because it's not why I'm. That's not why I'm playing a Dyson Sphere. I'm not playing it to be a beta tester. That's not really what I do. I think it's great that they do it, and I'm happy to hear that it works. But we join in when there's new content. That makes sense for me. So yeah, so no new content, and I think that's if you think about it from a development perspective, I think this is a good thing. So between updates, they do a technical update, but not include any content. That means it's people who are sort of hardcore fans who will be doing this, and people who are continuously playing it, but it won't lure new people in. But if you do a content update and a technical update at the same time, then you risk to have new people coming in and experiencing the issues that are involved in the technical update, and not just the features that don't work the way that the features should work. So kind of splitting it. So if there's a restructuring of how the engine works or something like that, it makes really a lot of sense to do it this way. So they can sort of sneak it in. They can get maybe a month or two of testing, and then they can add all the content on top of it, so that will then perform better because they've had time to stabilize the content update. So that seems like a sound idea for development to do that. And I'm hoping people will test it, and I hope it's going to be awesome. And I hope that the bugs will be unbugged, so that when the content update comes, I can jump on in, and it'll be amazing performance for our mega galaxy spanning Dyson spheres. So, yeah. Hello there. Wasn't it 9? What was 9? 9? Or I mean, like I said, I might be streaming a little bit later, but yeah, it's had the schedule. Then it's a problem with the schedule. Then let me just check. Maybe that's because I just copy pasted something. No, it says 8 p.m. All days. But yesterday I was saying like I might be a little bit later. Here's an interesting thing for you you early people. So I went to restaurant with my parents. We were supposed to go to their place, but my daughter had to go to the optician. I don't know, optometrist. Yeah, that one. Glasses. And it took a while. So I was like, well, parents could come here and then we go to the restaurant. So it's in the restaurant, and then my dad is casually racist, but not mean spirited, just being like, you can't say that. And I'm not even gonna try to sort of. It was just like about street salespeople in Barcelona and their origin, and I was like, and I just looked at my daughter, and she was looked at me like, because 15-year-olds are a little bit more sensitive. I'm like, yeah, I can. Because I'm also chronically online, then I kind of have a sense of how things, how society develops in terms of what you can and cannot say. And I was like, I know you're trying to just make a joke, and you're trying to not say any racist things, but you're kind of making a joke about tunneling from Africa. And you're just like, no, please don't. It's cringy, to say the least. And I just also asked my daughter when we were driving home, like, how did that feel? She was like, yeah, I didn't like it. And she was like, it's quite clear there's a generational shift. Like, wow, that's a good way of saying it. That's a generational shift. That's exactly what it is. I remember my grandmother was she was outright racist in just this as in that was the most natural thing. And I think like values and things shift, and this is why people get in trouble for something they posted on Twitter 10 years ago, which is extremely misogynistic or racist or demeaning or anything. But at that point it was just like, yeah, it was a little bit of edgy, but that's it. So but it's, I think that I can also feel that there are some things that I am having a tough time with, and that is pronouns. I really want to do it right, but I can't. I just don't understand it. I really try, but I know someone, and she says her no, she, fuck. See, this is the pronouns are she, they, and I don't understand how you can have she, they. I don't understand it. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, she has pronouns. Their pronouns are she, they. And I really want to do it. Yeah, but they as third person, that's not correct. That would be there in third person. I don't, the thing, this, it's just so, if it's someone were to say they, them, I can do it, but it's really, really difficult. And there's someone that is a facilitator in a workshop, and they are a really good facilitator, but I just chose not to interact with them because I'm so afraid of doing it wrong. And then it just becomes like, you don't exist to me because I can't cope with it. It's just too difficult. And it's not because I don't want to, I just can't cope with it. It's my brain is hardwired, and figuring this out is just, it's fucking complicated. So I can start the they, them, I can instead he, her, but when it becomes like XE, was like, I don't even know what that's pronounced like. I don't understand it. And as much as I want it to work, then it's something that's just really difficult for me. And it's frustrating that it is so difficult. And then I choose use the person's name instead. Yes, but I wouldn't do that here because I'm not doxing someone. But that's also what I do, is that then I start referring to that person Bob. Like, hey, did you go to Bob's workshop? Yeah, Bob was doing this during Bob's workshop where Bob was bobbing, and like it also becomes a little bit of a constructed sentence, and then I'm spending more time on the structure, on the infrastructure, than the content of the conversation. And I try, and I also try here on the stream when someone is donating and sub or something like that. I do my best to not assume the gender, even though it's 98% male. So I think that from a purely statistical perspective, I can just call anything that isn't male just a rounding error in terms of statistics in this community. And then be like, yeah, okay, that's fair enough. But I was just going by statistics here. Classical language, she is third person and her is a possessive. Yeah. Yeah. Her is a possessive variant. Yes, but it's usually it's he, him, she, her. And then if instead of her you say they, wouldn't it be their or them? I don't know. My younger siblings switched to they, them after 18 years or so. Then recently committed to he, him. It's been a roller coaster, and I was just getting comfortable with not accidentally dropping a she, her. Yeah, and I think that hopefully there is an appreciation for putting in an effort, because it's a sentence structure that is so unnatural that I want to put in the effort, and I really do, and I do. I am very much in queer communities, and I still find it really difficult. And it's not because of not liking it. I love the queer communities. I'm hanging out in that a lot, and it's one of those things that I'm like, it's something that for me, I can feel that it is something that's coming into my life too late for me to really just embrace it. I feel I'm too old, right? But for my daughter, for example, it's completely natural for her to switch between the genders and not assume anything, and how to ask politely without sort of making assumptions, all that stuff, because you learn it and you navigate it, but it's still like it's not natural for me. And I try my very best, but at best at best I can get credit for trying. Like the 35 barrier mentioned in Hitchhiker's Guide to Guys. A 35 barrier. I don't know. Not sure if you know, but you still have a little image of Microtopia on your channel page. What? I do? Oh, interesting. No, I just forgot to move it. I'm gonna do that now, so I'll probably hear 2 Nilaus soon. Thank you. Oh, I muted it. They must be happy with it. Edit panels. Microtopia. Remove. Are you sure you want to move? Yes, remove. Thank you. Stop editing. Thank you. And the rest is just woefully outdated, but at least it's something. Thank you. I was like, what? That makes no sense. Like, oh, that makes sense because I forgot to do it. Thank you. Appreciate it. Saying it. I had a friend that was he, they, and I misgendered them so many times to the point that I said, I'm going to get it wrong, but I am trying. And they accepted it. And they accepted it. Yeah. Will you give Foundry a try? Have you checked my YouTube channel? It's a pretty good place to see if I've tried Foundry. It's a pretty good place to see my 2 Let's Play series of Foundry, or maybe even 3. But I'll not give Foundry another try until there's a new major content update. Let me Google that for you. Yeah, it's not even long time ago. I'm not English speaker, so I don't know what I'm writing. Yeah, well, I saw that was you're doing great. Yeah, but that was just an example of something where I know that my perspective is dated, and I really try. And this was also like the start case was my dad was also trying. He knew that there was some kind of thing that was inappropriate, so he really tried, and it was still inappropriate. And I think that just being conscious about, yeah, I'm gonna get this wrong, and when I get it right, it's gonna sound really forced. So, yeah. But I'm also, what brought me a little bit of just happiness was that in this queer community, the person who had she, they, accidentally called the other facilitator who has they, them, him. And then there was someone in the audience that was like, they. It was like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. And I was like, yes, it's not just me who's having problems. It's also also people who are living and breathing it. So good, because it is so ingrained. It's yeah. Because there is no defining words differentiating pronouns. He, she is the same word. Oh, interesting. I think there are 2 interesting things about the Danish language, aside from that there's a sound in Danish language that doesn't exist in any other language, which is the reason why it's an unpronounceable language, because it has a sound that doesn't exist anywhere. And the other one is sort of more linguistic, and that is there is no word for please in Danish. It's kind of like Dothraki. We don't have thank you. We do have thank you, but we don't have please. That doesn't work. So that's why Danes are generally considered impolite. Which sound am I referring to? The soft D. Rød med fløde. Good luck pronouncing that. So yeah. Now it's a soft D, like fløde. We go. That's the sound where people say speaking Danish you have to have a potato in your mouth. No, that's not it. Detonation, because that would be stød. That's a hard D. But if you put an E after that, then it becomes stød, and then you have the soft D. And that is a sound that phonetically doesn't exist in any other language. And it sucks. Yeah, so now you learned a little bit of Danish lessons and why you should not learn Danish. I met someone on Saturday when going out, and she was Dutch, and she lived in Denmark for 16 years, and she was not really she didn't want to speak Danish. It was clear that when she said some Danish words, they were she had good pronunciation, but it was, yeah, interesting. Don't have even 3 unique sound. I don't know. Maybe it has like 50 times more grammar than Danish. Just on grammar, Danish is, oh yeah, grammar. That's true. In Danish, it's easy. You just it's there are only like the common sex or gender and the no gender in terms of gender things. So you don't have to know so many things about what gender a specific name is, and it's much easier. So that's nice. But then the problem is that you can't read Danish and know how it's pronounced, because we don't pronounce the words at all. So it's not really like rules for, oh, this is the rule, if you see this then that. It's just awful. Plus the other thing is, like, there's 6 million people and they barely speak it correctly themselves. So really, is it worth putting in the effort? Dutch has more. I think most countries have more. Most languages have more grammar than Danish. I don't think it's particularly difficult but you can't sort of hear a word and hear the spelling of it. That's the main problem. But American learned German in high school. It was easy. Some people have linguistic talents. How words are pronounced if you read them. Yes, they are pronounced impronounceable. Yeah, but I think that, I don't know. I wouldn't want to learn a new language at this point. Well, I'd like to, but I don't want to put in the effort. That's the thing. Like, I would love to learn Japanese, but am I ever gonna do it? No, because I don't want to deal with it. So, still have trouble with some of the sounds in Hungarian. There's a sound. Sure, I can never quite nail. Yeah, me too. Never quite nailed that. I would like to download Japanese as a DLC. Yes, that would be, if it works like the Matrix, that would be nice. Yeah, it's I think that sort of yeah, especially for my hobby, it also makes sense to know a little bit of Japanese, and it would also be interesting to travel to Japan. To experience the culture, but I think that going to Japan would be a hell of a lot more fun with just a rudimentary understanding of Japanese. Actually, thank you for the 33 months. For Danish is that I have learned it in Sutherland. Yeah, that's such a weird thing when you see someone who is not Danish and they speak Danish with a dialect. I'm like, that's you speak broken Danish. You speak Danish with half a Dutch accent and half a Sønderjylland accent. I'm like, what the hell is that? That's so weird. Oh. But that's okay. Even if anyone putting in the effort, kudos. That's amazing. Speaks Japanese fluently, and I still haven't gone to Japan. Flight tickets are crazy expensive nowadays. Yeah. I talk Danish to you just to see you creep out. Yeah. popular English in Australia or UK? I think that's the thing, like, I can't get rid of my accent, and I haven't really put in a conscious effort, but it still bothers me that I'm stuck with my stupid Danish accent. But, you know, it is what it is. So, the problem is, like, there are some accents that are sexy. A Danish accent, not sexy at all. Like maybe a little bit of Swedish accent or French accent or Spanish. All of those things can do something when speaking English, but no one has ever said, that's a sexy Danish accent you have. Jesus Festus, thank you for the 40 months, 4 metric years. Much appreciated. If you're looking for a British accent. Yeah, and you think like, but you can also go to the UK. I worked in UK. I lived in UK, and I had a customer in Blackburn, and I was about to say, "Do any of you speak English?" Because I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but it's not English. It was completely incomprehensible. I was also working with truck drivers and warehouse personnel. That was, I have no idea what they were saying. It was a weird, obscure dialect. So yep, that also happens. So, but I think like anything like Liverpool, that kind of place, weird. So anyway, at least we have a common language, the language of factories. Let's dive on in. I cheated, by the way, because after we were done yesterday, then today I was sort of tinkering and look at this. Look at this. Oh, and the timing of loading the save. Okay. For any of you who were here yesterday, when we were struggling to get the orange signs working, it works. Yeah, 128,000 coming in. Oh, the frames they are gone. Okay, so I tinkered a little bit more. Actually a hell of a lot more, and I managed to find a solution for this. So I took the sulfuric acid. This is a city block worth that produces 240. And then after I was tinkering, I was like, I need to see it working. And then I built one. And then when that was working, and I just sat there staring at it, and I was like, yeah, let me build a few more because, you know, then it's done. I'm not native Dane when I was in Copenhagen. My Danish and his Danish and my Danish weren't always compatible. Oh, that's interesting. I can imagine that. Like, you and then just go like, hold on, is there another language we can try? Yeah, the only thing I don't like is the asymmetry here, but I had to sort of squeeze that in. So as I designed it, it turned out that one of these stack inserters on a moving belt is about 80 per second, and this one needs about 80 per second. So this one was not able to keep up because of the sort of the stack push, and yeah, it just didn't. It was flickering this one no matter what I did. If I only had one stack inserter, one stack inserter going out, so I had to get 2 stack inserters. So I had to do a redo design. But I think this is the core of why it works now, is finding out to get the sulfuric acid coming in here from the side, and then that made it a lot easier, or not easy, but it made it feasible to get 2 on the outside here, and then I found a way to get this, squeeze this in here, and still have room for the rest. And it works now. Yeah. Yeah, more time to enjoy rocket launching. Yeah, it's actually something I was thinking about. Like, the animations are the same length, but the UPS is not like. Is the animation also slowing down? Do the rockets fly slower at lower UPS? They must be, right? Okay, so this one's now idle, and yeah. Well, just a few more things here. But this works. I've been looking at it, and it just produces nice condensed belts with the usual tiny little glip once in a while that's not worth trying to mitigate. So. And then, yeah, so that's done. What's your Volcanos RF? RF. RF. Radio frequency. No. No. Rocket fuel. Ah. Don't know. RF. Robotic frames. Yes. I think I just have like a tiny little build somewhere. Like this one. This tiny thing here. Makes 32 rocket fuel. Radical factory. Yes. Yeah, so this is what all I have. And it's just super simple, so it's fine. And it's taking about not even close, only this is actually less than full belt here. Yeah. So 1 belt of coal plus a little bit of sulfuric acid, and then we have 120 RF per second. So no problems there. Cool. Right. Yeah, so I had to get all this. By the way, I had another location down here where I built this design. And I was... No, that's not this one. Okay. Well... Okay, I did something else. So let me explain something which I found out didn't work. And then what I did instead. Oh, this looks glorious, doesn't it? Okay, so I was thinking, hey, one of these is producing 26. Yeah, it's not much. We can just plop a little one of these down here. Like 3 and like this. No. There you go. So this is now 260. A full belt. Yes. So, obviously, that's not going to work. Because it only outputs on one side. So I was thinking, okay. But what I tried was like, then this one, because then it outputs on both sides. It doesn't work. Which you can already see here. It's only half density. Because no matter what, it can't output both on this side of the belt and on this side of the other belt at the same time. So it's actually only outputting 120. I will prove it, because you look skeptical. And then we'll take our measurement. $120. It only produces 120 outbound. So this is no good. That means if we want this to actually output, there is but one way. And it sucks. And this will now be 160, because that will be the maximum they can do. 160, because each stack inserter working on a moving belt will be maxing out at 80 per second. Just about. Okay. So that sucks. Oh, now it just dropped. Oh, because this one's not powered. There you go. Then jumps up to 160. Yep, there you go. 2 drills. No. But the problem is that with this one is that... Yes, 2 drills, but the point is that this one says it's outputting 260, but it's really difficult to actually get 260 out of this. I don't even know how I would do this. Okay, now I'm gonna do something awful just because, just to show. Like, this is obviously not how it would be done, but now this should be almost 240. Almost. Okay, it's actually quite a distance away. 225, yeah. Because there's some swings that are not completed here. Yeah. But that means even though it can produce 240 per second, then it's not actually doing it. It really is. But if we just put it into a box and then output it like this, I'm going one out here and the other one out here, so that basically one drill goes out on 2 half belts and the other one goes on 2 other half belts. This one will give us 160 from each, and so the whole thing is not as it says here, but it is rather 160 times 4, 640, which is still less than or more than what we need. What about mining into a wagon? Yes, mining into a wagon is the only way we can get it, but even then it's actually kind of difficult, because you need, then you'd have to get this like this into a wagon, and then where are you getting it out? Because you need to actually get 4 inserters per belt outbound. That's a lot. So the next question or problem will be actually getting out of this box. Then you have to build it like this, and then get them sort of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to get out here. I think mines can only output to chests, not cars. They can. They can. And they always have been able to. So this one isn't even gonna make it. Like, this is 240, so it's 240 out. This is gonna be 240, and this is 240. But if each of these could, yeah. So this is kind of the best way you can do it if you want to get 2 lanes, and then you have to get 2 more into some other ones. So it works, but this one also works when it comes to something, and I do kind of want to do it like that because that's actually better. There. Slightly better. And then these lanes go down here. There are 640 each, and each of these builds require about 600. I think I made this one exactly so we can see. Yeah. It is 596. Where is the production of quality modules being made? Is it now? Yes. Yeah. These are all my quality modules. And I'm making 1,000? That doesn't seem like much. Oh, that's the non-legendary. The legendary ones. 3,000. I think I actually need more speed modules as well. Shouldn't this be 2,000? Yeah. There we go. And the quality modules, also 2,000 of those. Ah. Interesting that this one says 1,000, the other one says 2,000, but the actual number is 3,000. I love the consistency. Thank you very much. Yeah. Weird. How do you do production 3 modules? Just recycling? 2 different ways. I do the normal ones, hoping that they upcycle. And I'm upcycling them here. Whenever I have it, I try to upcycle them into higher qualities. But I'm also just making them straight out here with this stuff here. Whenever I have some biter eggs available, then they go in here and become converted. And the biter eggs are then processed, made in these 4 blocks. Sometimes. Just slowly just churning out biter eggs. Yeah. Is this DLC worth it? Yes. I have probably 1,000 hours into the DLC already, so yeah. To improve performance beside the default configs? No. Okay, so let's recap. Let's go through all the sciences and then we see. Okay, so red and green are done as legendary on spaceships. Military is lacking. Blue is on spaceships, legendary on spaceships. Purple is right here. Yellow is on a spaceship. We have 2 of those spaceships. Could need more, but we're going to wait until it complains. This space science is on a really cool spaceship that I made off camera that will be in part of a YouTube series at some point here. It produces 480 space science, and I could have made it bigger, but I was like, yeah, 480 seems like it's good enough. Metallurgy, we have now done that. It's not a problem. That's the one we have here. Then Glabalicious, it is surprisingly good. I'm really surprised how awesome this is, and also how absolutely amazing the farms look. Because this one, if you look at this and go like, oh, I need to double it. Well, that's not a big deal. Like you can just build it down here, for example, like build this thing down here and build this farm over here and build this farm down here. Done. And then we have doubled this. So Clever also not a problem. Electromagnetic. Better to look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 60 normal ones plus some legendary up here. So that's also done. That means cryogenic and military are the ones we don't have. And Promethium is the big one at the end, because as soon as we start working with it, our UPS will just tank and it will never recover again. So, oh, this one dipped because we don't have enough. Barthak is working, but not working hard enough. So we switch it over to one of the other ones. So to recover. So we have cryogenic and we have military. I think we want to do military first because cryogenic is sort of a new journey. So we can do that when we come back from my little vacation. That's going to be, maybe I'm going to stream Friday evening or maybe not. Well, due to the scale, start smaller and you get it. Yes. Research productivity needs military. Yes, everything in the military, this one requires every single one. So yeah. So we do need to have better military. And then my question to myself is, why the hell is the military working? This is all I have military. The 240 military science per second here. And it's just chugging. And it works. And obviously the reason why it works is because I'm not only using this. Oops. Where did it go? There. This one. So this is a really good build. Sort of from the perspective that it was when it was made. But we're going to need something else. We're going to need somewhere that needs a lot of coal. We need a big coal deposit. And we need some lava for getting rid of stuff. And then we need a little bit of calcite nearby. And also some no sulfuric acid. Okay. So that's something. Right. So let's find, we don't care about the lava because we can make our own lava. With blackjackers and hookers. But we need a lot of coal. So we need somewhere that has a giant coal deposit. Coal. Okay, this could be a good place, right? There's a lot of coal here. It's not great numbers, but it's 3.4 and 3.4 and 5. No, it's K. That's an M. It's only 3.4 million. The FPS before the complaints of how slow everything is. 40. $10 million. Ooh, this is dream space. Yeah, this is a good place because it's also out where we already have our city blocks. Yeah, there's nothing else that's close to as good as this. Nope. All right. Well, this is going to be our location. Oh, that's 21 million. That's even better. Ooh, this is way better. Maybe we make it up here then. Yeah, because then I can just continue this space here, and then it'll be sort of our new sciences are up here. And we also get to go out and kill some of these. There we go. That's the scale. All right, let's go out here. And do I have my railgun? Yes, I do. Have you ever had a worm go through my base? Yes. Many a time. We actually have worm space out here. And this is almost certainly big worms. So let's not underestimate them. Not equip the nuke. Yeah, no nukes, please. I don't think this actually attracts them unless it's actually powered. I'm looking at minimap, not even looking at what I'm walking at. Hello. Pew! Single shot. One shot, one kill. Hello. Goodbye. Just have to make sure it lines up so the railgun shot goes through all the segments. Good. And we're definitely far enough out here, aren't we? I think I'd actually just like to explore this area here. Now, after playing with the new grid for a while, what are your opinion on it? It's insanely good. Like, that's my very unbiased attitude about it. It works. This is the perfect size for us for a build for me. It just works so well, that size. You can fit a lot of stuff into it, but it doesn't get sort of overwhelming of, ah man, I'm wasting so much space for this little build. Just kind of lining up here, just walking across. If we see a worm, we see a worm. Hello, worm. Oh, wow. Oh, I've missed. My own ineptitude is the bigger issue. Why build grids like this? Overview, and it comes originally from service-oriented architecture in software development, and that's my inspiration for the city block. So the city block is just sort of a concept of just, that's the brand of it, but it is really a service-oriented architecture. What if you're not familiar with programming, then basically the idea is that you have a block. Let's take somewhere where we actually have these blocks. You have a block, and that has a specific purpose. It doesn't do a million things half and then some other things a little bit and that kind of thing. It's just like this thing, it has a defined input and a defined output, and whatever goes on in there, you can zoom in and you can work on it. But when you zoom out, you just need to know that there's an input and an output. So for example, in this part here, well, what does this do? I don't fucking know. Well, it makes legendary biter eggs. And what does it take as input? It takes some bioflux. Okay, cool. Now that's all you need to know. And if you want one more, you just stamp down one more, and you know you will have exactly more room for it. If you want to have more of these, then you just stamp them down somewhere else. Like that was of course the old city blocks. But then, like any kind of city block that we have, like here, Volgora, then you know that this has a purpose. There's a defined input, there's a defined output, and then this has a purpose, defined input, defined output, and then each of those have a specific purpose. That's just it makes it so easy to scale up, because once you define once, then you know exactly how much space. Sometimes when you see people not using these kind of structures, then they build a giant, I don't know, steel processing plant. That was back in vanilla. Awesome thing, lots of trains coming in and buffers and all that stuff. And then they find out that they need more. Like that's a pain in the ass to scale that up, because you just build it in a giant size and now you need 50% more, or you need one more of those. But when you take the whole thing, and it's kind of unwieldy because it's not a clear defined shape. So by sort of forcing myself into some design shapes, it means that things just tend to just look, in my opinion, a lot nicer. Even though this is not specifically city block size, or city blocks, then it still has the same structure that I really like. And in this case, I built this grid, and I actually started hating the grid because the grid was too constraining, while the new city blocks are so nice. They're just so nice. It's a really perfect size. Sometimes you fit a little bit more into it than you really should, but it means that every block has a purpose. And also on the map view, this looks amazing in my view. So, and this, like, if you have to figure out all the things that go into making purple signs, it's complicated. But looking at this and going, oh yeah, okay, making purple signs. Ah, okay, this one. Oh, you make the steel and you make the intermediates. Okay, cool. This one, oh, I see, that's the red circuits. All right, cool. And this one, oh, it's stone and the plastic. Okay, cool. And this is the insanity of the stone processing. Done. Easy. Have done a train city base with blueprints. Yes, in vanilla, before trains got the nerf stick. Okay, we're almost having this grid. And Sackertorte, that is a uniquely German dessert, right? I can't remember the pronunciation, but I remember it. Austrian. Oh, Austrian. Sorry. You can call me Swedish, and then we're even. That's true. It was actually in Vienna. My ex-wife was when we were in Vienna. It's where I ran into it. Yeah. How do you start on Gleba? I haven't seen a video on it yet. There's a video on it in my YouTube Let's Play, but there's no masterclass for it yet. But it is in my my Let's Play series, and it's a pretty good way of doing it on the way I'm doing it in the Let's Play. I'll go a little bit more into detail and be a little bit more structured with the designs in my my masterclass series. But still, there is definitely content available about it. Yeah, okay, so this has been built. I don't know why these are sort of lacking. Oh, it's because it's missing some... Oh. Really? Really? Mm. Oops. And just like that. And let's see. Now we need to find who is available. That's Timbo. Timbolicious. You're missing 10 of these. Okay, cool. Then I'm gonna send you to Volcanus so we can get more here. Okay, let's do some design work. We don't need to be up here, and we don't need to actually babysit this. They will get it when they get it, and that's just not our problems. So no train city block since Space Age. Correct. The scale of Space Age and the lack of scaling of trains is just not a good combination. Unfortunately. Trains don't get better with the quality, so they basically outscale, but everything's super fast. Yes, that's the very short version of it. Oh, still a long way until we get back. I could also just use some space in here, but no. We want to build. We want a greenfield. Let's see. We have this space down here. This is kind of our design space for now. Cool. All right. And we're obviously going to make this non-legendary. And now the question is, how do we get it? What do the trains need to be interesting? Okay, if I... Changes that would make me go, ooh, okay, I want to do trains, would be scaling with like wagon size scaling with quality. So they become 2.5 times the size. So instead of 4,000 plates, they can take 10,000 plates. That would be a good start. But this issue is still like getting stuff in there. If we could sort of take a belt and just load it in, so basically loaders to trains, like we have for liquids, then I would say, okay, now I would use it. I wouldn't be sure if it was necessary, but I would definitely like it. But the thing is also, like, for example now, what would I use trains for on Volcanus? Because if we look at, like, would I take a train from here with the stuff that I'm getting from down here? Yeah, I'm getting coal from down here up there. That's a long belt. Long ass belt. Or these ones. But the insanity of putting all of this on a train and just moving in here and having train stations to unload and all that stuff. The problem is also, like, unloading. You can unload from trains, but the trains are so small that if, let's say this, each block here is not even much, but it's consuming 600 per second. So, and each train wagon can contain 2,000. So basically, this one takes 3 seconds to empty a train wagon. Like, I can't have, let's just say we get a 4-wagon train coming in here. Okay, so it's 12 seconds. That means I need a new train coming in every 12 seconds to keep this flowing. Like, no, it doesn't work. It just doesn't work. That's why trains are complete useless, because you have to build all the infrastructure and the loading and the unloading and the balancing and all that stuff. And then ultimately you're like, yeah, but now I need a train every 6 seconds or 12 seconds. Nope, not happening. Good. Hey, Davis, someone say trains. Did not get enough trains yesterday? Trains have lost kind of their purpose because you don't need to consolidate all resources and products anymore. Yes. One thing is that what I explained, like the ins and out, the logistics of it. But the other part is that now we're building, what we've just done was basically saying, we need a place with lots of coal. Okay, so we build it up here. Done. Then what's the point of transporting things? Okay, so we need to figure out... I really wish that I didn't have to build like these overly beacon builds. I feel that this is like a good beacon build. It's also 64, that's not completely awful. But are bots or belts that's transporting resources around in most cases? Bots. All the yellow ones are now just cleaning up this area, so that's kind of why we have so many bots. But the white ones are robots, logistics robots, and they're basically mainly, and this is just poor base design, they're mainly going from my central storage to my central rocket launching facility, like generic rocket launching facility. I just kept running out, so I was like, fuck it, just make a lot. Just make 264 rocket launchers. Done. That can tap most of the field and work as a train loading. Yeah, that would be nice. Move the central storage. If I move the central storage, then I also have to move this. Because most of the stuff that gets dropped down has to go from here to the central storage, so... Yeah. I think it's just one of those things I have to live with. And we can design better in the next time. Cool. So this, I think I need to lower it somehow so that it gets closer to our desired. Ooh. Well, that's close to accurate, but... Maybe like this? Perfect. Okay, so this is what we want. And then it's also pretty clear that this is 120, 60, and 60. The problem with this is that it takes way too much of a city block build. But this is definitely a candidate. I think what we need to do here is just kind of find some general structures and make our magical little box here. So our objective is to make a number of city blocks to come back to making this 240. And in order for us to do that, I would need this one, minus 60. And this one, oof, that's an expensive one, minus 60. And the last one was this one, very expensive one, minus 120. And then I just break it down and then say, okay, so if I want to make 60 of these, how would I do that? What did I miss yesterday? I wanted to check out what you missed yesterday is... Oh, the VODs. The VODs I migrated to YouTube, but then it failed in the upload, so I made the VOD from yesterday available on Twitch until I get it re-uploaded. Oh yeah, speed into RAM. Yeah. So what we did last time, yesterday, was we completed this bit. Oh, let's make one of the nicer ones. This one. Ooh, look at that. So this block here is 60 electromagnetic signs per second. A robot mess, but absolutely beautiful mess. And then we went to Volcanus and designed the hell out of this section, which I then, off camera today, made a scaled up, tested and scaled up. And that's where we are now. So now we're working on military science. Speed into machines, of course, which will completely ruin the ratio now. Yep, that's way too much. Is it this much too much? Yeah, this is actually pretty good. Cool. So it's 1, 1 and half. Minus 60 of these. Minus 60. No, minus 30 of this. And minus 60. Okay. And we'll go drill down again with this one. Minus 60. And that is just... Yeah, it's probably good. Oh, that's so close. Well, actually, hold on. That, even though it's close, then it's actually good enough because we're also overproducing. So 61.5 is definitely enough because I just need to produce 60. And my guess is that it'll need 240 inbound. Okay. So we need some ironium. Minus 240. Boop. All right, then we move on to the next product. That is here. If I want to make 60 of this, that's not negative. I want to make it. That's the output of this line here, 60. Then, oops. That's a lot of stuff that gets attacked here on Clever when we don't use those. Then they get attacked, but they don't get destroyed. A little bit. 2 things got destroyed. Fine, whatever. But these are really, really aggressive, even from over here. This is 30, yeah, good. Oh, it's 9 o'clock. I'm just gonna take a short break. And this is now 4. So, taking a short break, and I'll be back in 2 minutes. Alright, we're back. We're back. Okay, so onwards with grenades. That's what we're working on. It's not gonna cut it. Not even close. This is really slow. Wow. Not even this is enough? Woo. Also some nasty numbers here. Because there's no productivity on any of this. Alright. Could be a different pattern. Okay, so that's overdoing it if I make 2 of these. Did you break? I did. It feels weird to go sort of so light on beacons. How much is each side requesting? More than a full belt. So yeah, that I don't like. But it will have to be more than a full belt because this is going to be more than, this is between 2 and 3 belts. Let's see how we solved it here. Yeah, it's 4 of these into something. Oh, hold on. Like this. It's kind of a lot off. I like this idea. But I would need to get another one out here. It's still awful. Yeah. What if they had their own like private dedicated build here? No, don't like this. Because I'm thinking that I'd much rather have this design. This design here. This is the one I want. Yeah. Then something in here as well. And then these 2 in here. Yeah, I think this is it, because then I'd have to get the grenades and the walls out somewhere else. This is how I usually do it, and it makes sense. This is definitely not too fast. It's way overcrafting here, like way overcrafting, but that's fine. We can just do this. Still overcrafting, so it's fine. And this one's also fine. Yeah. Okay, I do this. It's gonna be used a lot more, but it's, and then I'll have some kind of iron out here. I think that's a lot of compact, so less crap on belts. Kill this one for this. Okay, but then we need some kind of build going in here. I think I'd like to restructure it in a way that is something divided by 3, because I'm gonna get... What if we did something... And this was the coal coming in, for example. Then I would be able to just grab the coal pretty easily, and then put the other stuff out on a belt. Because this... Still not enough. Almost. You can't input... What? No. Managed to put carbon in the build. It seems nice. Thank you. Yes, it took a while. And that's your fault. If it wasn't for you, I'd be happily having one without carbon. Yeah. It was... but thank you for highlighting it. Yeah, so it works. And it has been running very smoothly for a long time that I've been monitoring it. And now when I look at it, it looks so simple. Like, yeah, of course, just go little loop around here. There we go. And then straight iron here. These ones just curl like, yeah, easy. Why was that so difficult? But that's how it always is. When you see the solution, it looks easy. Okay, so here's another question. Where's the other one? Because this still needs a ton of that. Ugh. Wasn't difficult after 30 minutes. I can also say that I used a little bit more than 30 minutes off camera today on tinkering with it. So I don't like this build. I like it from one perspective, but I don't like it from the other perspective. Like, yeah, sure, I can get one coal inbound, but where's the other inbound? This design here is very bad at getting more than one input in. And one output out, so that's not really what we want. And each of these are using it in so high quantity. The output, though, is not particularly high quantity, but there still needs to be, like, the quantity is 60. So it is a full non-compressed belt. What does that mean? Which is better for global production? Flowing through the bioflux or splitting them off the main bus and terminate at a production spot? I don't really see flowing through the influx, and I don't know. Bioflux is slow spoiling, so I wouldn't mind that standing still. But the things that... Designing it around the forge for direct insertion. Initially, I don't think it's a good idea, but... sure, we can... It's always a good idea to sort of feel it and then see if it... Suddenly it could be like, oh yeah, that's actually a really good idea. Let's see what this one is like now. Still the same. Now this is easy to get in. And that would be the input. Output would now be less intuitive. And yet, it's still not enough. So I'd have to still be doing something like this. How fast is this? 57? Oh, sure. I need to have this space clear. Or maybe not. It's a beautiful little flower, but it does tile, and that's something. It is significantly too much, yeah. Needs to be 65. It just feels like these two would, that makes it way too little. Yeah. Then we're back to where we were before. But okay, so it's making a little bit too much. In 12 months, and I don't understand half the materials and their purposes. What happened to the normal iron and copper? This is, you can now smelt it from lava. That's what happened to it. And that's nice, because then you have infinite amount, because you can just pump the lava out of the ground. The good thing about this is that now we have like a unit. And the other advantage is that I'm going to need 3 lanes of coal coming in, and now they come in as neatly as 3 lanes of coal. And the other one is coming in as liquid iron, which is super easy to deal with. I think this is a good idea. Yep. I like yep, yep. Here's another perspective that I could do this. I think this is better because it's easier for me to link these together now. And then I just need to feed one of these with molten iron, and then we're good. Yep. I like this. This is good. Good idea. Foundry input topside is available. Yeah, but not for sort of looping. This one's available as well, so I'm just making this as a unit module something, and then we'll see what it's like. So the next one is going to be super fast, and I probably don't need many of this. Like one beacon. Oh, not really. Okay. Really? Okay, I thought this would be not a problem, but I guess more beacons are just not as great as doing it this way. Well, that's enough. This is also enough. Okay, so 1 beacon and 2 machines is fine. But isn't it always better to have fewer machines? Okay, so this is good. The other alternative, let's see how many beacons would actually be needed. Okay, too much. Too much. Not too much. Like this. So 5 beacons would be necessary. If I take this out, then it's going to be not enough. Yeah. So 5 beacons. What's better? This is 1 less entity than that, plus the inserters. So I guess this is technically better, but ew. Also this part here. Oh, that's a nightmare. That is such a nightmare. Oh my god, it's so awful. Yeah. Mm-hmm. If I'm just thinking about it, like, this is 240, this is 240. This can be 80 each. This can be taking a full belt. So it basically has to do like this, and then the output looks like this. Although it has to be put on one side though. Why not use productivity modules? Seriously? It's not an intermediate product. Oops. Ah. Yeah. Here's a module of sorts. So now let me ask you, what is the exception to the rule about intermediates are the only things that can be productivity module? There is something that's not an intermediate that can be productivity module, and there's something that is a as an intermediate that cannot be productivity module. So something that is out of that category but can work. A wall is intermediate? No. Rocket silo cannot be productivity module. Well, yeah, it can. Right, that's a good point with rocket silo. Concretes and foundries is exactly the interesting thing. Because it's moved over to an intermediate now. So this one can, for some odd reason, be productivity moduled. And barrels are the ones that cannot be, yep. Yeah, overgrowth soil is also a good one. And then you can also say that some of these can be productivity moduled. So. Now, I don't think this is a great idea with this one. It actually only has to be listed on one, which actually is also a problem for this one here. Because this is important that this only goes out in one lane, so I'm going to be reversing it. So the whole thing comes in on one belt. Nah, that's all. This seems awful, doesn't it? It means the last one is not going to do much, but whatever. I think this is fine because it comes out in half belt here, and this one also comes up at a half belt, and then they merge together, and that's the belt that goes in between here. Yes. Okay. What about modules and EM plants? Sure you can, but that's not really. That's not an item you're producing. Let's see. Oh, this one's stuck again. We'll switch back. We'll switch back to this one just for a bit. Magma is working, but not fast enough. Okay, so again, we are having the issue that we need 6 times as much. So I'm taking... Oh, 6552. Okay, so this one is going to be 600. 600 inbound, and this is going to be... Oops. 327.6 divided by 65.52 multiplied by 60. 300, of course. minus 600, and minus 300. And then we do the walls. Minus 120. And that, no, not minus, plus, because this is produced by this process, and that process requires just a modest minus 600 here. Then we go back to this one. If I want to make 600, then I will need to 600 divided by 1.5 multiplied by 2. $800 stone. What's the current goal? We're working on military science, making a block thing that goes here. So 800 science, or 800 per second is fine, because this one is doing a lot already. 1, 2, so it's basically like this one, but we just don't have to build it as intense as this. This is such a cool build. Probably one of my best builds because of the silliness. And then it goes into something like this. This one, let's see, how much is this producing? It's producing 400, so it actually has to multiply this, like this one, right? By 3. That's basically how much we get. We need 600 and we need 800 inbound. Yep, that makes sense. Can one foundry support 2 wall assemblers? One foundry? One foundry of what? One foundry? Foundry cannot. 2 wall. Foundries cannot support that. Why is the yellow ammo negative? What, this one? The yellow arrow negative. You mean in this part? Because in order... Oh, this one. Yeah, okay. Why is it? Because it's a mistake. There. So now we should sort of see it break down into the different parts we need. So these would be, in my opinion, like the basic materials. We can also just drill it down even further. Yeah. I have a non-relevant, semi-relevant question. I'm using the Space Casino to get legendary item infrastructure. Should I only care about sending down iron, copper, and coal in that instance? And what should be the minimum explosive damage I should use from Prometheum Science? I feel like my rocket damage can't keep up, so I have to babysit the ship more. Okay, so that's 2 very different questions. I'm gonna answer the last one first. You want to get explosive up to the point when your damage with a yellow rocket is enough to single hit a so that one yellow rocket will kill a medium. I think it's a medium, right? Or a big one, or whatever. The ones that are needed for that. I think that's not a medium. That's a big one. So that big chunk, which is 2,000 damage. That has nothing to do with what you need for the Prometheum science, but once you have that level, it's okay. So even though you're not going to be using rockets, you're going to use explosive rockets for your Prometheum farming, then it's a pretty good benchmark to say you want to make sure that your yellow rockets actually deal 2,000 damage. Which is exactly where I am now. 2,000 damage. Boop. So that means... And this is where I got it to this level and then I haven't touched it since. So that's like 16 million, I think it costs to get it there. Yeah, 16 million. So that means stronger explosives, 21 is probably it. 16 million of each. Then I felt safe, and this is where I've been hanging out. Maybe level 20 is fine, but around that benchmark. That was the simple question. Sending iron, copper, and coal. No, also calcite, because calcite gives you legendary. Calcite gives you legendary stone, and legendary stone gives you legendary stone bricks, legendary concrete, and legendary reinforced concrete, which you need for some recipes. So calcite is also important, but coal, yes, because coal becomes plastic, and then that goes into all those other products. copper? No, you don't send copper down. You get copper from your LDS shuffle, because that generates a stupendous amount of copper. Let's see down here. This one. This is my.
Our illustrious champion
Here's my copper build. It's a silly thing, but it works just fine. This has been just chugging along forever. It's not even legendarized, but it still works. Yeah, so you get an absolutely ridiculous amount of legendary legendary copper, and also a significant amount of legendary steel that you really shouldn't worry about steel either. J555, thank you for the 13 months. How good of an idea would it be to make a ship for Prometheum that uses nukes instead of red rockets and produces with Corex in space, if that's possible? It's not possible, and it's not a good idea. Because nukes have a very slow flight time. Even if it works. I don't know if it works. But even if it works, they have a very slow flight time. And what happens when the ship flies into it? And then it explodes in a very big area, and your ship is now exactly in the middle of the explosion. So yeah. No. Yes, no. Bad idea. Or great idea. Try it. Let us know what happens. This one I don't like, but I'm going to keep it like this. We'll see. It would be very funny, yes. Plus, I don't think you can... I have a feeling that the... Where are they? These ones? Oh, they can be built here. Okay, so you can make it, but then you'd have to throw uranium into space, which is not great. They can be placed on space, but we just tried. Okay, but you know, maybe the recipe isn't working there, the Corex recipe. Nope, it doesn't say anything, conditions about locations or surfaces, so that can be done anywhere. But this one it has rocket capacity 20, this one has rocket capacity 20. Why? Because Corex, the person, not the process, doesn't want us to import uranium into orbit and make uranium ammo. That's what we did during they closed the content creator event. There was like, whatever, just send uranium to space, or just send uranium ammo to space, and then he was unhappy about us doing that, and then it got further nerfed. Hey Swammer, good evening. I'm interested in your thinking about the transition to legendary item. Would you just start with the space casino or something else? For now, I would start with the space casino. As long as that exists, I would make a space casino. This is what I did. I think I may still have an old build somewhere. No, I think I replaced the last one. The last old build has been replaced. No, there's still some, like this one. Like this space casino was started out not actually as legendary. It just works a hell of a lot worse. But on the other hand, every single legendary thing you get just feels like yay. So, hello Calcite. Yeah, yes. Start with quality module upcycler. Yes, that's definitely what I would do. Get the quality modules is the most important thing, and then quality productivity modules. Those are the most important things to get because they change everything else. So, if the clever mental picture can be used to upcycle stuff, yes, they can, and that's going to be in 2.1. That's going to be what we transition to, but not then, not until then. Okay, I think we want to make this thing into one city block, then make all of the stone process. Oh, actually, I think I want to make this thing into one city block, and then this plus this processing of it into another city block. Cool. So let's go up here and find a place to build. Where would be a good place to build? Let's make this one. So this is going to be our design space. Ta-da! And since this is happy, then we might as well expand it outwards. I expand it downwards. Just casually, just expanding, expanding, expanding. And why not just make another one? Oops, I got a little bit carried away. Because ultimately we do need... Oh, I don't like this being so close to the edge. We do need to get over here to the coal deposits eventually. Alright, let's run up there. They won't give the LDS shuffle though, surely. Oh, they do. They have said they will. So the LDS shuffle and the space casinos are gone in the next update. These seem a little suspicious, don't they? Flight time up here is pretty ridiculous, actually. Okay, so let's build our stuff from down here. Beautiful. Yeah, okay. Wrong way. All of this seems correct. Wow, even putting lights on immediately. So I can take this, flip it here. Let's take this, smash. Oh no. Ah! No! Or is that even... That's so... That doesn't matter, because it was... This was what I wanted. Alright, right. No panic. Or please panic. More panic. Okay, so then let's remove all the redundancies here. This one. And that goes up. Okay. So now this is where I want things inbound. Cool. So this belt here. And also equivalent on the other side. Ew. That's the same. So this is the inbound. And then I'm going to get some new. This is copper and steel inbound. This and this is the other intermediate inbound. Yes. Come from over here. And then this is the iron inbound. Which I don't know how I get in. Okay, so there's a lot of things we actually want on this slot here. Would you restart your playthrough after the update since you hoarded loads of illegal No, it's not illegal legendary materials, but I would start after 2.1 because then I can use my masterclass builds. I can use a city block structure everywhere, and then I can get the legendary sort of redo that, because just loading this game save up in 2.1, then okay, it's not really gonna do anything. When is 2.1 expected? When it's ready. No one knows anything about it. Okay, so now we have the other things that we want. Shoot, there. That's this one. This monstrosity. And this one does not have any power poles. Yeah. So what do we need inbound for this? We need 3 belts of... this actually has to come. Then I need to rotate it again. How I dislike the beacons affecting the next one over. 1, 2, 3. Yes. These are coal inbound, and they just need to come from down there. So I want those on the side so that they can bypass whatever was in the previous segment. And then I need some inbound here. This will be some... that means lava. Do I want lava up here? Could also do something like this, just to make it make sense. Yeah. And this is stone bricks, and stone bricks. So in this block, what would I want to build? This one's iron inbound, this is steel and copper. Okay, so first things first. This will have to be just going all the way through, because this is just coming from the very beginning. Let's have a compare it to this part here. This is basically what I'm doing with these 3 lines here. Just sneaking them past all the way down here. Okay, it's actually on the other side that I can get things past, but whatever. This is going to be smaller build. Output belt is turned the wrong way. Oh yeah, it is. Yes. That should maybe work. So what I need inbound is down here. And I think we want to mark these things just so that I can keep track of it. So this will be stone, maybe also so you can keep track of it. Coal, yes. And this is molten iron. And this is stone bricks. Good. And then see, if I'm having molten iron come in here, and I'm having iron plates coming in here, nah. There's got to be a way that I can make another molten iron plate build thing and send that over here. You are just placed exactly where there are absolutely no beacons. Lovely. Not enough. I need more. But I don't... It's not a problem that I need more, is it? Okay, so maybe I could redesign this thing so that it actually focuses more on you. They just need to touch that one, but... This is now 200, so this still needs more speed. Oh. This is producing 175, but these out here only need 100. So I actually have 75 excess out of that, which is basically about. This blade, I don't like the word blade. It's a module. It's not a blade. I don't know what a blade is. But it's always it's 240. You didn't study the blade. No, I didn't study the blade. What I never understood about quad designs is, does one science pack give 5 science at once? Or can one science pack be... It just lasts 5 times as long, because when you look at our science, then... Is it even working? Yeah, I mean, is it even working? And then it's chugging along at 900,000 per minute. You can see that these are... Well, if they would bother to get that, then... I will do that one. Go back to this, so we can actually see it working. Missing science packs still for this. But they're coming in now. Come on. Need more agricultural science. So you can see here how slow they degrade, or they get consumed, compared to the non-legendary. This is the best way of illustrating the difference. See here. So it lasts 6 times as long. Alright, I think we're onto something with this one. This one already has 4. And this one's producing 200 plus something up there. And I need to figure out how to get it out of here. So I think I'm going to do this one. Just go 1, 2, 3, 4. That has to go into this tile. Seriously? Can we even do this? Can we do this? Oh, it's so close. Maybe we can go out there. Yeah. And just a little swing by there, then everyone's happy. At least I am. Okay. Do we think this works? I think it does. Prioritize bottom foundry. I am actually doing this because this is a side loading on the side, so these two will fill up and this one will only get in sort of whatever it can additionally. But this is not going to work because let's say... Yeah, I need this to kind of go away. I can't have it on the inside. I'd like to have this one actually just... I want this to be built, and then I want to supplement with stuff from this side. But this up here has to supplement to both sides. Maybe I'm overdoing it. Maybe it's just easier to do something like this and go, oh, that's not even close. Oh, it's 224 now. So it is actually just one more. Then it should be there. 245. Yeah, I think that's nicer for me to do. And sort of say this one is going to be pretty outputting 240. Done. Sure, this is going to be a little bit too fast, but it'll all even out because this is only coming out on one side. But I do dislike the fact that I have to use... Could I also do it this way? Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting, I think. Goes in, it goes on the inside, and these go on the outside. It works. Goes in, 240 on this belt. No supplement from this, because then it might starve the other ones, or if this is speeding up as well, then it might be weird. Is this vanilla plus quality of life? Yes, it is. The only thing that I have is this calculator and this calculator here. Those are the two calculators that I have. Those are the only mods that I allow for myself. Okay, so molten that one inbound. Here's the next question. If I have molten iron coming in, why am I not just making the steel as well here? And especially since I have these glorious locations here, why is this not just making all the steel I need? How much steel did I need? Oops, I need my calculator. That one. Top right hand corner. Good. So hover over it. 30 steel. That's nothing. And 60 copper. Also nothing. $140. Yeah, I think we're good. And that goes out here. Yep. And this one can then just go... Ah! No! Well... And this one will then be molten copper. So I also need to get molten copper up here. Or maybe it can also be brought over to this side. I don't know. Like this could also be... For example. No. No examples here. Damn it. It doesn't need to come in here, but I think that it might make sense to have them nearby. Or we might actually just get them in from the other side, because now it's too many things that are over on the side. Whatever. That is not important. What is important is that we now no longer have to deal with stuff coming in here, because it is only a matter of 60 copper and 30 steel. This one does not have enough. No, this is producing 6. There we go. So anyway, this could be nicer. Not really. Now this is kind of weird. Okay, this is good. What item are you using to flag signal? But just a constant combinator and then just select the item. Yes. Okay, so now I think we've put as much as is reasonable to put into this round. So in this block here, I'm going to make... Yeah, I'm going to make basically this, but better or more. But times 1.5. And this is why I have this. $200. And I need a total of 600. So this needs to be multiplied by 1.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ta-da! Okay, so I need 3 of these. Yeah, so this is presenting another little problem. It kind of uses all the space. If we look at one side of this, 200. So I can't collapse these belts into one belt. They have to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. 6 consolidated belts in here. Oh, right, it was 2. Yes. Yep, 2 of these. Good. So that's, yeah, but that gives us another problem of how do I get 2 of these into 3 of those? Because this is actually outputting more than 1 belt. Oh, that's not quite as impressive or interesting. And this is probably better. 11. So I do need 3 of these. It's much easier to deal with 3 of these. And then we're gonna have... somehow. Looks ugly. Doesn't matter. It's even coming in, so... Then I think... Therefore I am. If you got your French philosopher lore down. Smart belt. And now they're all turned the wrong way. Shit. Yeah. Those 6 just come in from down here. Can you collapse the belts together? Maybe I can now. I don't want to. Wow. No, not quite. But that's good, because I don't want to. So there should be 140 coming in on each belt. Which obviously means that this one times 6 is 800 inbound. 800 inbound is not 6 belts. It's 4 belts should be fine. So here I could make a 6 to 4 splitter. 4 to 6 splitter. If we have one of those that wants to play ball. Yeah, they're about the same. Okay. So this is the inbound stone, which I will now... That one. Okay, so now the stuff we're missing is to be able to provide some copper inbound, liquid copper, and some liquid iron. So how much liquid iron do we need? I think I need to continue this calculations so that I get that down here. Doesn't your stone maker output 6 anyways? Yeah, it does. So maybe it doesn't matter. But this will compact it a little bit if I need to. But you're right. But I also don't need it this big, because this is producing way too much. Each of these is producing 300, which of course it isn't doing, but it's producing 240 each belt, each of these. So it's going to be fine. Right. Next up, I have this. Okay, so I can heat them up. I'm going to do the calculations here. Let's see. We have 540 iron. Let's calculate that. If I produce 540 of that, what would I need for this? That's not what I want. It's this one I want. The productivity is 150. So let me just it's times 10 and then divide productivity. So that means if I want 540, then I multiply it by 10 to get the amount of liquid, and then I divide it by the productivity. 2,160. Maybe. Minus 2160. There you go. And then it also... No, it doesn't need some calcite, this part. But I also need this one. This is... If I want... Oh, this is 300% though. That's important. So if I'm looking at this, I'm saying 30 molten iron. So if I need 30 iron or steel times 30 for each, divided by the productivity, which is 4. 225. Okay, that's not much. That I will do this one minus 225. Good. So now I know how much I need in total. I need 2,300, which is not much. Where is your break? It is hiding. And the last bit is the copper. I needed 60, I believe. Yes, that deletes this. And then I want to look at the steel, this copper recipe here. No, I can do that. This one, it is exactly the same, and it's also 150, so it's divided by 2. So it is, I need 60 multiplied by 10 divided by 2.5. 240. minus 240. Good. So now we know how much liquid iron and copper we need. So now we need to translate that into lava and calcite. And then we can calculate. But 2,300, if we look at it, it's not much. It's actually just one of these. And then we can guarantee that it's going to be the same on the other side. So we just need these two. Well, that's incredibly simple. And then the last bits just go into processor here. And we need calcite. If this is all the calcite we need... Oh, hold on. No, that's not true. This also needs a lot of calcite. So we have to get a calcite belt in anyway. So I'm going to get a calcite belt coming in here. And this is the usual. And I'm just going to do this deletion here. They need to be pointing away from each other like this. There. And then it just deletes whatever is left. And that's definitely going to be fast enough for the amount. Even if this was running fully, then there would only be 5 per second, and 5 per second can easily be deleted here. So this is just making sure that we delete this in a meaningful, fast way. So our here becomes now something different. These are all very flexible to where they want to be placed, so no problems. That is taken care of the lava now and the calcite. So different things inbound. Okay, and this is a bypass. This is a bypass. Well, it's coming from the lava anyway. And this is a bypass. No, this is not. This, yeah, whatever. And then we just need to get it up here. It's a really bad place. So much better if it was right there. Or maybe not. This is not something that is no kink shaming. And on that note, we're going to take a break. So you hold back on your kink shaming. We all are allowed our kinks. This is mine, apparently. All right, be back in 2 minutes. All right, we're back. So, I have to get up really early tomorrow, so I think I want to try to complete this build, and then if we complete the build and see it running, then, and there's 45 minutes left of the stream, we're gonna end early. Just because, yeah, I want to try to also get some sleep. Haven't caught a stream in 2 months. How do you grind for legendary quality effectively? Do you do final product regind? Do you mine and sort quality resources? I have a video, very recent video called Space Casino. That's it. You make space casinos. And what is that? That is not this, because this one just ground to a halt. Oh my god, who built this stupid shit? So don't look at me. This is disgraceful. I actually built an improvement to this that doesn't have the issues that this one has, because I saw this on another one. I think I built the improvement here. Yes. Okay, so a space casino. I want to see a space casino that is not fully jammed. They are almost all jammed. I am just not consuming science fast enough. Blue ones, they can't be busy. Okay, here is a space casino. What do you mean by that? We have a very broad ship that just flies as fast as possible, so it can grind a lot of stuff, and we just get that stuff in here. Get in here. Then I use it to make the fuel for the ship, because I want to work fast, and then whatever I have left, which should be close to a full belt, is going to go in here, and just trying to be upcycled with these. It goes, because of the productivity, it's actually 1 in and 0.8 out. And then there's a 12.4% chance that it gets upcycled to higher quality. And then it goes around and around and around. It becomes next quality, go around and around, and next quality, next quality, next quality. And then suddenly, after a long while, I have a number of these in legendary form. These legendaries can then be converted. If we look at the ratio for this one, I use 1 metallic chunk per second, and then I get 764 legendary iron ore out of it. So 764. Seems like a pretty good ratio. And then you can take this and dump it to the ground, and then make your legendary iron plates, so legendary steel plates. Do the same thing with copper. The calcite, this one for the oxide can become calcite. Calcite can become stone. 1 calcite becomes 37.5 stone. The coal one here, see here, this one, coal can go over here and become legendary coal, can become legendary plastic, which then can become legendary green circuits, red circuits, and subsequently also blue circuits if you want. And that's, then suddenly you have all the ingredients. Suddenly. I use the word suddenly incorrectly in this regard. Yeah, not suddenly at all. Eventually is probably a better word to use in this context. Ooh, I like that better. Whoa, dude, this looks awful. Why are they so inconsistent? I mean, they're at least consistently inconsistent. Equidistant. Okay, so now comes the next one, which is going to be tricky. Because I basically need to make this build, except mirrored, and different. So tempting just to use exactly the same thing. Because this is then the calcite. which is perfectly fine to come in here. And basically anywhere here is... Oh, that's not the right one. There. This is the lava inbound. Okay, so lava inbound will also have to go up here. There. Okay. I still feel this is too big. I don't need to have this many, so how many do I have here? This is 18. So obviously I'm gonna cut 2 of these out. That's the lava, that's the copper coming out. Going up there, yes. Okay. But how many of these do I have to cut out then? Or can I cut out? I'd like to just cut one of these. There's actually 3 modules. And if I want to go from... Yeah. I think this is better. Or good enough at least. And these ones are bypass. It's not these ones, but this just gives me sort of an idea. Stone output because of the more stone output. Okay, remember to correct the stone output. Correct the stone output. Oh right, yeah, these. That's a great point. Wow. Yep. Wow, that's a good spot on that one. Okay, I think this is good. Yeah. Yeah. And nothing else. So this is the only thing that needs to come in. 3 belts of stone and 1 belt of calcite. And the rest is just made on the spot. Okay, so lava... I think I actually want to get the lava from here. Seems more logical that I just want to make a big lava lake. This is the lava inbound. Like suddenly we have plenty of space for this, so... This better? How much lava? 17.5, and each of these, this is a mistake in the rate calculator, this one. Okay, but each of these are 3,000. So that would mean 6 of them, and Then we just double up, so whatever. Definitely enough. Then I make it like this, then it's symmetrical. Yes, I like symmetry. There we go. So, I'm gonna do this. Copy this over to the other one. Because now I need to do something silly. I'm gonna nuke that spot, and that spot. And then I take everything else that isn't a nuclear power plant out. Then I need to make this in a different way here. This is outside of our network here. And then those are the ones I want to put in my network, my blueprint here. How do I do that? I need to make sure it's not part of the network, or at least not part of my network. So I'm disabling my personal network, yeah? And then I'm taking there, and then I'm going to be saving this as a blueprint. There you go. This. Why is it not? It doesn't have the fuel. Why does it not have the fuel in it? Damn. Why does it not have the fuel in it? That's weird. I'm sure that that was the case. Do you really have to make it? No tiles, but vehicle fuel, yes. There. There, okay. Let's maybe take it out, maybe not take it out. Let's try it at least. So I'm gonna take this thing out. Okay, we're gonna lose everything anyway, so let's just take this out. It just goes in my buffer. And I can now enable this again. Maybe we also want to take this out. And then I take my new blueprint. I know this is really strange. There. And these are now happy. Good. So what I now need to do is I need to wait for this one to get to 900 degrees. And once they get to 900 degrees, then we were going to be exploding them, because then they will make nice little craters for us. Like these. We've already tested it. And sort of made a nice pattern. Yeah, so it has to be outside to make it into a proper blueprint here. And these three don't need to be here because I have it as a blueprint. So. And then we wait. I I take it nuke bombs are more expensive, but waiting 3 minutes for the power plant to heat up. It's not just that, but this is something that's blueprintable. That means I can put it in the blueprint, and then if you want to build it, it's not like just nuke around the area and then replace it. But this way you can just take, oh, here's the blueprint, stamp it down, wait 3 minutes, and then blow it up. Blueprint? No, you can't do speed modules in here. This takes a while to heat these up. And then we're gonna blow the damn thing. Blow the thing and go home. And I guess we can also do something else while we're at it. That's not gonna be wasted effort. That's this one. Can I build on lava? Oh, I actually can build on lava. Ooh. Ooh. Could you possibly heat them quicker with a heating tower? That's an interesting question. Never thought of, never occurred to me. That sucks. Wow. Ah. It's still fast enough, so maybe that's a better idea to do this. Even further over. Kinda think this is nicer. Yeah, this is nicer, right? Are we warm? We're warm, but not hot. Lukewarm. Is it worth using more for neighborhood bonus? For what purpose? So it heats up still. I don't want to waste more nuclear power plants just to cut down from 3 minutes to 2 minutes. And it's also just, yeah, it just seems weird. So, no thanks. Not for me. Look at that. 37 minutes. But it's also just working at an absolutely atrocious rate. So, let's get something else done in the meantime. Because we only have one Battle Nugari coming here. Key. And this one just shoots up immediately up to 1.5. Oh, I have to be a little bit careful now because not to kill my my buffer here. Yeah, so I need these in my buffer. You guys are just impatient. The best part of factory building is making nuclear power plants and blowing them up. Honestly, heating them with a heating tower would be very nice. In that case, we wouldn't need any resources from Navas. Yeah, that's actually it. You're right. That's a good point. I'm now curious about it. Do we even have those heating towers here on this planet? Are they... Yep. Okay, here we go. Should I just... I should just do this, right? Beautiful. And nothing important broke. Oh, here's an important thing. Don't make it an underground, because undergrounds don't work on this. And all of these should not be this, and not be this, and not be this, and not be this. It should instead be these. Yep. And then we're just waiting for some more stuff to come in. This one's working at 1.49. It's not maxed out though. For some reason it's still not maxed out. It can go up to 1.5. Odd. 6 minutes, then we're good. Lost a few robots. The cost of doing business. Why not blow up more? Because I don't know if this works. So I want to see this work and want to sort of guide it and gear it. And then once we have it, it's easy to blow up the next one. Okay, so we used 60 rocket fuel and we're halfway there. Is this something we're requesting? Rocket fuel? Feel like it should be, otherwise... Yeah, there. Okay, so it is coming in with more rocket fuel. It looks nice. Okay, so the lava is coming in. That's at least the first one. And the calcite will be... So we need to get... And this is also something I like doing, is setting this one up sort of for a consolidated build. And we're going to be making it 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. No other liquids? No, no other liquids. Interesting. And I'm going to get... how many lanes of coal are we going to get in? We're going to get 1, 2... Just check. This is actually using quite a lot of calcite. This one. How much calcite? 53. Okay, so it could actually have made you with less. But there's also a lot of calcite use for all of this. But here, this uses 35 and this uses basically nothing. So even 4 of them is just one belt. So, yeah, and here. That's 12 lanes. 12 lanes is not 4x3, it's 3x4. Yeah, sorry, but it is. Anything else is very weird. No. That's too weird for me even. We'll do this. Okay, and then... looks so bad. Doesn't this look better? Yeah. Okay, so this is the first one. The second one. This one's out. This is out. This is out. This is moved. And this is extended. Good. Okay, so this one, I think it works. No, you can't use nuclear fuel in... Alright, I think this is a nice build. Then we need to bring this over. Basically this. Oh my god, I should use trains. But in all honesty, this also illustrates why trains are not very good. When, yeah, sure, it's cost a lot of belts and all that stuff. But I don't have to deal with all this shit of just bringing it on the belt, on the train, off the train, balancing it, train infrastructure, turning them around, signaling, all that stuff. Which is like, oh, but it's fun. It's like, yeah, but the fun part is in my opinion, that you do something and it's super effective. That's awesome. Not just bang your head against the wall and call it fun. There's a lot of ickiness. Big worm. Hey, Silver. It saves on train fuel too. Very important. Alright, so now we need to make a design for a generic output. This is... Wow, this is bad. We really need more. I think that a good place to be in terms of speed here is that one unmodded, unbeaconed, unmoduled, on anything should provide 260. Oh, hello. Volcanus. Oh, right, that's just blowing things up. The electric trains, yes. Okay, so here we have the issue of this can only output, if I do this, it outputs 120. If I do this, it outputs 120. So I can't do this one, and then that gets us 240. But that's just one belt outbound now. So that's not even, this is not even, even though I beaconed it, it couldn't make more than this. So that kind of sucks. So if we put in a beacon here, like that, it would not matter. This cannot output more than 120 unless you output it on a in a box, which is what we do here. I've come up with this design, which I like, although I don't need as much many beacons for the non. So this design here does not need these. Really? 3,800. Blah, blah. Solution and the problem. It's more the problem than the solution. Yeah, why you chest when you can use a car? Because this is blueprintable. The thing is that the one I have on Fulgora here, this is also 2 into 1 into 2 belts. And that's actually what I'm... No, that's this is better. Yeah, unfortunately this is better. Also, this just fills up a box of junk. And we don't really want boxes of junk. Well, we still have boxes of junk. The problem with this one is that it takes quite a lot of space. So this is 4 lanes, and I need 3 of these then. It's actually kind of funny to do it this way. Yeah. Is there a 12 to 12 balancer? Because if there is, then let's just have fun with it. There is a 12 to 12. Oh yeah. The uselessness will knows no bounds. Well, that's actually not good enough. Problem. Need actually quite a lot of space for this. So where's the middle? These 4 are the middle, so they have to go. Yeah. No. By the way, this is not necessary, just in case you were about to argue that this is not efficient, then it's true. It looks good. I don't know if it does, but it does something. That looks awful. Okay, that's something. Wouldn't it also work with 2 drills into a splitter into 2 belts? Nope, it does not work. I proved that at the start of the stream. Because I knew that was the logical question. So, no, unfortunately not. Where do we have some calcite? We have some calcite here, that's fine. We'll take that. Or we can take this. I might pave over this. I'm going to take that. It still only outputs at 120, even if it outputs into a splitter. It looks nice, but doesn't work. Up here. There we go. Calcite working. Why not? You can't really say why not. That's just because that's how it works. So I'm gonna prove it to you. Good. So I will happily. That's proof is better than. We need somewhere to delete stuff. Okay, we can probably do something else. Need a little bit of preparation here. Good. So, this is now inputting into a splitter. And you can see this is not full. And if we do the calculation here, it is only going to 120. Because it only puts in on a half belt. It's probably just putting in on the nearest side of the nearest belt, and then it puts out there, and then it splits. And therefore it doesn't work. I was also thinking that when I built this and I tested it, no, not tested, when I built it, I built it like this, and then I was assuming that it would be putting 120 on one side, 120 on the away side, but it doesn't. So, watching videos on YouTube and made a city block style myself and buy it by you guys. Awesome! First time chatter, welcome. I'm testing right now if it works. Okay. I mean, the drill's not fast enough. The drill is producing 801 per second. And it still only outputs 120. So I don't know how you're testing it, but it's also very, very easy to see that this is not a compact belt. How can you see that? Look at how it stacks up. And there it's a half belt. And now it stacks up. Yeah. Thank you, Furion, and welcome. Yeah, so this is... It literally says 16 in the preview window. What's 6? Where does it say 16? $16 item belt. Yeah, 16 item belt is also a half belt. Yeah, 16 is a half belt. 32 is a full belt. Yeah. Like it's obviously very important that you keep consuming stuff on the other end, otherwise you don't get the right result. So that is definitely busted, that myth. Lovely. Should just have shot it, but whatever. Inventory full. Come on. Grab the stuff. Well, we can do something else. Oh no, I don't have enough wagons. That's awful. I'm gonna miss one. And when placing these, it's important to make sure that they both outputting, because they don't always do that. See, this helps. And I'm missing one. No! What do you do to share resources equally? Like, what if you are receiving from all sides? That's just what balancers are for. This is the first time I've used a 12 to 12 balancer. It's not needed at all, but it's fun to have. Yeah, this one should just get in here. We're missing one. That'll get there eventually. So, it's coming in. That the visible mass unloading. This is a viable mass unloading. Yeah, it's annoying to me. So, this is it. Once we get this one in, it should just work. Let's monitor this one, because that's the one that's interesting. And it is coming in fast enough, and this one will eventually get that in here. Oh, these ones are not fast enough now. Because crap. Alright, well, they're fast enough for one, and we'll go back and fix this. Okay, so it comes in here. Let's see what happens. Nothing, nothing. Ooh. Oh, yes. Something is happening. And what about all the other stuff? Yeah, this looks happy. This one looks happy. Yeah, it's just missing the grenades. So here come the grenades. I hope. Just running all the way around on one side of the belt. I don't know if I like the one side of the belt part. Can a big mining drill load into the short end of the cargo wagon? Yes, it can. Okay, we're starting to see something. It doesn't reach all the way to the end yet, but that's it'll get there. And as these fill up, then these are not working on the other side because they're consuming too much. And eventually something will pass by. Eventually. Funny how nothing is. There we go. I got one little bit out here. Oh, a little bit more. And it produced one. Yeah, these are not done yet. That will get. This one's working, and these ones are now also. Now we get fully compact belts. That's what we want to see. Sweet. The belts are compacted. And there. And then it should start stuttering on the side. Yep, it does. And the belt is still not full, but that's fine. This one is also consuming 625 and still not. I'm running at no, not at all. We're running at about 40. Ah, man, this is crashing again. Damn, I just keep thinking we're gonna get it, but nope. Alright, back to that one. Oh, did we get a sign? Did we? Oh, we got scrap recycling done. Nice, so we're done with scrap recycling. Sweet. You're missing grenades. Well, this is also not exactly a full belt of grenades coming out yet. I'm surprised how little actually passes on. What about these two? They consume basically half a belt, but this is way more than half a belt. Or is it? Well, when it becomes a fully compact belt, then it's got a belt. Then I guess that's the reason for side loading. It just it doesn't work. That really shouldn't have anything to do with that, because then it would make the game behave differently under just because it runs slower. Yeah, some guy on Reddit did a setup. No, they did not. Someone made a manual. You had to sit and click rotate all the time for it to work. So no, it did not really work. Do I need to be smart to play this game? Nope. Do you need to be smart to play this game well? Yes. But you don't need to be smart to play the game. You don't need to be smart to enjoy the game. But you do need to be smart to be good at the game. I think that's a fair thing to say. Of course, defining on what the hell does smart mean these days. Yeah, only smart enough to be a Patreon subscriber. Yes. You either have to be smart or you have to have more money than sense. Either is good. Yeah, well, there's always some guy on Reddit did something, and yeah, that's fine. It's a gimmick. But sometimes gimmicks can inspire other people to do things in a different way. Same with the silly things that speedrunners do that other people can then adopt anyway. I'm gonna have an extra one out here for the last one because that one always have a difficult time outputting, and I want this to be responsible for filling up the belt. And we get 2 half belts out. But if we look at this belt, it looks very much full, which is exactly what we want. Now, here, is this actually keeping up? It's working. A little bit of, okay, interesting. Oh, right, here's a... There we go. It was struggling to output the stone fast enough. What a silly thing. A legendary stack inserter can transfer between a box and a box, or an entity and an entity, not moving belts, at a rate of 120. A green bulk inserter can do it at 90. So if you are outputting more than 90, but less than 120, which is exactly what happened, that's the reason why it didn't work. I love it when the theory, and then you look at it and go like, yeah, there we go. I was using your advanced oil processing block from Oil Processing Factorio Space Age Masterclass Blueprint book, and I saw that there are licks mixed up oil. Yeah, have I not fixed that? I'm pretty sure I fixed that, but apparently I have not, since I assume that you have taken a new blueprint or a new design. There we go. Look at this. The belt is now full as it should be. This belt should always be completely full. Sweet. And this one should also be full, I think, right? No, this only needs to be producing 60, so it should not be a full belt. But it is also stacking up, which I really love to see. So we should eventually see that it starts filling up, backfilling here. Slowly. Oh, I saw it. I saw the end of it. Yeah, it stutters. There. Yay, stutter. There, this one. Yeah. Nice. I think we've done it. We did it. Woohoo! Let's concrete this plant as well. So, now we can do more of this. This one got up to 999, and these other ones are also at 1000. Is there any... Oh, it just consumed the rest of it. So, it is an option for doing this. I don't really feel that I need to do that. Oh, the sad thing is that as I want to scale this up now, then I'm going to have to blow up everything that's around this area. Because 1, 2, 3. Generally don't want to put concrete onto this. Don't know why, but I just don't. pumps. Okay. No point in taking the other ones, although I'm now sending this one. I am not going to take an 11 o'clock break because we're just going to run straight ahead from here. Yeah. 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 It's pretty cool. Also, still not having full complement of these rocket silos yet. Even missing 2 requested chests. Really. That's definitely something we can help fix. And we just need to make sure there are not any undergrounds that pass through lava that shouldn't. Fine. Stupid question. Why are you lowing? I thought you only needed lava for the pumps at the bottom. No, I do not. Not just for the pumps, because these are producing 2,000 copper per second. I need to get rid of 2,000 copper per second. There is no way to get rid of 2,000 copper per second unless you throw it directly into the lava. This is why you see the plumes of smoke. So I am deleting 2,000 copper per second here. Yeah, blueprint the concrete. Yeah, I should. But that would be way too simple. Because now I kind of want it up here as well. Because it kind of look better now. Also that. I feel it gets even more sluggish as I do this. Right. When you have so many inserters into lava, you don't see a thing. Yep. Yeah, the smoke is transparent, but it's just a lot of plumes of smoke. So now we can see that it's idling. Because there's no consumption of this. Oh, this one is... Oh, really? Kind of bothers me, this part here. Maybe this one should just go to 1 million. Because it bothers me when they're stuck. How about this? 600. I could start making this build. Because that's still necessary to build, right? There we go. Just changing. I love the idea of this, the changing from the dark blue to the light blue. So you can actually see, yes, it is assigned, it's coming, or nope, not coming. Damn. Let's have a look at the production of rocket silos. Why that's not working. Dude, oh, concrete. Oh, someone is using all the concrete. Some idiot is using all the concrete. Hello, concrete. Wow. Oh my god, I can't even look at this. Oh. $60. It's only 36 per second, this one. Hits the inserter. Can't believe it's inserter constrained. Color-coded fluid pipe. Oh yeah, I love that too. Yay, we got one of them. The outbound is now faster. Now we just need inbound to be faster. And we'll probably just run out of this one then. Some of these things stressing me out. Yeah, we can do that. Okay, so one more is built. We're down to 48 are still missing of those. Oof. And quite a lot of concrete is still missing. Ooh, we really shouldn't have done that, but whatever. It's done. It is done. I wonder if... Do I also blow up the concrete? I guess I'll find out. I really should. These are here now, so I think I want to take this out because I don't really want to kill this. And I just don't really care about all the stuff that breaks. Ooh. Brute force and ignorance. That's how we roll. Why do the inserters look slow? Because they are non-legendary, and because we are running at the 2/3 speed that you are running your game at. Because I'm a little bit overeager. I'm missing repair packs. Oops. Did you know that you can put production into concrete? No, it's overkill now. Yes, I do know. We talked about it 15 minutes ago. It doesn't look like it's that much concrete that's still missing, so... So now that we have done all the explodey parts, we can also do the other parts. Have my robot start working on this. I love the insanity of it. I'm stressing my robots deliberately because I just want everything to just flow happy. But I do feel that something should be cut so that I control some kind of input here. Oh, that's definitely not it. Nope, and nope, and nope. It's this one I'm supposed to be building. There you go. That's better. The wrong blueprint! Not the right blueprint! Ah! Got it. Yeah. Is it a smart idea to let it just slowly start up itself? Yes. It's definitely a smart idea. And this is at 98%. We just want this. Come on. It's running at a measly 500,000 signs per minute. Come on. Just 4.5 more minutes. You're chugging along. You're chugging along. I need this. All the dead robots on the floor. Yeah, don't mention it. There's still entities missing materials for construction. Ooh, stack inserters. That's interesting. Huh. So who's the stack inserter guy we should call? That's Mutatio, right? Who think this is enough? 500. Rah. And you're heading to Volcanus, so you're gonna at least drop off the 222 you have. And you can go back to Glebalicious afterwards. So let's see if this one drops off. There we go. It disappeared. Go to Gleber. What do you think about having an automatic mining production queue mod? I don't know. You mean like automatically go over and buy this, build this if you don't have anything else? I think that science should have some kind of automation so that if one of them, if this one goes to 0 for a minute, something like that. If this goes to 0 for a minute, and then it should look at the next one in queue. And if you have all the things to do that, then that should just get started. It should basically just say, among the stuff in the queue, you want to prioritize the first one, but if you don't have the stuff for this, then you do the next. So as you get more, this one kicks in its gear, and then if it run out of something, then the next one gets in, because you might actually be stuck in for an hour or something and just not realize that you're missing one of the sciences. Well, it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Back to Gleba. Pick up 500. I'm gonna have 278 still missing. Interesting. Oh, I also have some in my inventory, so let's have those fly out. There. I'm getting another 50 inbound, so weird. And we still have 38. Somehow we're also missing light bulbs. That's so critical. Extremely critical. Where are you? Woo, something. Where are those lights that we're missing? One, there we go, 0 lights. So 107 do I'm now missing, plus 37 rocket silos, and now no concrete anymore. Let's look at mutatio. You are getting it? Yes, 500 on the way. Controlling research queue based on custom signal. Yep. I think that's a good idea, but I think that it's something that with Space Age, it should be default. Because you have so many researchers that have non-overlapping. There wasn't an issue in vanilla, but now you have each different research from different planets, and if one of the planets gets stuck, then it should just switch over to something else, to another planet. In my opinion. Good. This one can now go here. It'll still be waiting for this to come in. 3 minutes. Yeah, manage research with circuits. Yes, you could sort of read the circuit. That would actually be perfectly fine. So you'd have to build your own logic. Sort of, I don't know, if research per minute is 0, and then you could sort of go, then research the next thing. But you'd also have need to have commands for each of these. So like recipes that you could send in. So it's probably not a small thing. Good. Come on in with you. And the last one. Good. And it goes straight to Volcanus for unload. Ooh. Stuff is working. This looks, when I look at this, it looks like there's missing concrete, but it's just the coal coming in. Hey, look at that. It's flowing. It's flowing. Yay. This is not flowing at all, but this is the original one, so this is happy. The other ones are, one of them is kind of doing something. Let's see. We have Mark here. Of course, it's Mark transporting. Yeah, you're going to be 128 now. There you go. 128,000 is a really good, nice number. Why 128? Well, that's why. Because this is 128. So if all of them are filled, whoosh, it'll launch every single one at a time. Yeah, research Q012, yeah. What does your legendary stack inserter build look like again? It's a little mediocre thing, but it's running all the time, so on average it's fine. It's this one. It's weird. So I basically take all this jelly knot that I'm not using, and then I filter it in here until it gets to rare quality. Then when it gets to rare quality, I send it into another loop. This rare quality will then switch over to make this one and try to scale it up. And again, with productivity, not with your productivity instead of with quality goes in, and then I recycle it over here until it becomes legendary. And when it's legendary, as you can see, snatch it right in here. Also, sort of if I have some somewhere else in the network, and we get a little bit of this inbound. So, and then we have set it up to 3,000, and I have 2,500. So it'll now work on building up the next reserve. So this one is just something that's, you build it and then you completely forget about it. I hate that there are quality seeds. I hate that quality seeds don't do anything. Like, the Gleba is another reason why I hate Gleba is quality agricultural tower does nothing. It's health. Come on. Seriously, this one should be making something faster, or quality seeds should be having a higher yield or something. Like, the only way to, like, everything else can be scaled in multiple dimensions. Better machine, better module, better beacon, better modules in beacon, like so many things that scale, but the only way to scale your fruit is more. So yeah, just build more. Yeah, okay, so now we got all the stack inserters are coming in. And we're seeing that not everything is working. You're not working for some reason. I guess it was the stone that's not really working, but it is working now. So something here, but looks like it's coming in now. Maybe that was just a belt segment missing or something. But it's clearly scaling up now. Also some stack. Oh, right, it was the stack inserters. Probably, I don't know, something. Stack inserters probably something. It's because this is actually using quite a lot of stack inserters. This build, 48 for one of these builds. So, yeah. Okay. These are not full belts, but should they be full belts? No, they don't need to. As long as they... Like, this one is saturated, and that's the one we had from the beginning. So, this will be saturated, so it's fine. And this one will also be slightly overbuilt. This is fine. This is, like, fine. Everything is just fine. It's fine. It's amazing. So, now the question is... Military. Alright, what is our expectation in terms of what we would have as... times 4 times 60. 57,600. Yes, and we also have somewhere else another build. So we actually have times 5 because we also have another build here. So we'd expect it to cap out at 72,000. So why is it capping out at 76,000? Well, I am pretty sure that we actually have an old legacy build as well. There. This legacy build. That I'm gonna kill now. Because everything here, this entire legacy build, this one this is the last thing I want to make sure that I don't have anymore because I don't want it. I can kill this. Ah. Yeah, this one has just been standing here for a long time, just waiting until this, the purple science was just getting demanded. And now that has been done, so we can take this out. This, I'll leave it for a little bit while longer so that it can get there. Oh, come on. It's slowing down even more. No. In my run, I forgot to turn off my legendary stack inserter maker and ended up with 40k legendary stack inserter. Oh, nice. Well, I guess you're not running out then. Okay, so we are getting these slowly trickling in here, and this one is slowly filling up. Slowly. It's actually not slowly at all. Okay, so this is also soon ready to go. This is ready to go. This is almost ready to go. Yeah. Done. Done. Okay, so this entire thing is ready to go. The next one's ready to go. Once this little box fills up, then it'll start. Oh, we got the research. Whee! Let's queue up the next one. How much? Oh, okay, 201 million. They get a little bit expensive, so even running at 1 million signs per minute is still 200 minutes. And that's if we could maintain it, which we can't, of course. Think of the spoilers you missed out on. Yes. Do I want this one? Yeah, I kind of do, because I'm not having enough of this science. Something that's a big mystery to me is, why is the Aquilo science good enough? Like, this science just doesn't seem to run out. It's just happy. Chuck me along. Happy, happy, happy. And just 6.47. This has just been chugging along, and we've never, well, we rarely sometimes see it for a little bit because of just the transplant. But look how small this build is. So we would multiply it by 6. That means it's equivalent to 311 normal signs, which isn't very much. So I guess it's because it's only for this science that we use it, and this is not running all the time. Yeah. Yeah, I guess I guess this one, when it's back here, is now working at 150 per second. So we have 3 of these, and there's more often than not like one of them back here. So it is capped at 150 per second. The Prometheum science, which is not much. That's definitely the big thing we have to fix. Okay, how many more? 12 of these. And this is not even... let's switch over to railgun shooting speed. That uses some stuff. I don't know why. Or we could also do... Oh, let's do this. No, that's... Yeah. Let's do this one. Because it's military and it's the orange one. So it's the stuff that we've done today. And that should actually be able to run at 1.4 million for quite a while. And then we'll probably run into some logistical issues on this. But let's recap, because I'm gonna wrap up soon. So we now have the metallurgic science at 960. We have the military science at 960. We have the purple science at 960. Those are the ones we have here on Volcanus. We have the Kleber science is working fine. That's also at 960. Why am I saying 960? Okay, so 960 science per second is this much per minute, and our productivity right now is 760. So times 860 times 8.6. That's our science per second right now, the science per minute right now, that we can support for any of them. So we can only support continuously 500,000. So you can also see that I need one more science. Just when this science completes, then I just need to double my build, and then I'm good. Well, they tested exactly how fast railguns and artillery could fire due to animation speed. Railgun shooting speed caps out firing speed 5 research. That doesn't seem like a recent video, because that was that used to be the case, that, and then they updated it, and now it's at around 15. I think it made a huge difference, because I got it up to level 4, because that was like the common knowledge that 4 was max. Then they did a patch, then I upgraded, and it made a huge difference. And I was like, okay, so don't you need to double it due to half consumption? No, it's not half consumption, it's half consumption rate. This one can produce, or can consume, as you can see here, 1.4. I just need to put it in here. Then I can get up to the 2 million. The 2 million that it can consume, when I switch it to the one that works at half speed, then it will be 1 million that it consumes. It doesn't change how much is consumed for each science per minute. It changes how fast they are consumed. So I just need, the only difference between this one and this one is that I need twice as many labs. I don't need twice as much research. I need twice as many labs to get the same research numbers. Oh, that was not what I wanted. Yeah. But biolabs only drain half, so... Oh, right, that's true. That's true. Yeah, okay. So my calculation, that's... I was also thinking, like, isn't it... I thought it was like 1,000 per second would be... So 960 times 60 per second times the productivity times 2, because it's only using half. That's 990. So with what we have, we actually just need one more research, just 200 million research here, and then we're actually good to go. So I don't need to double this. Ah, good. I was actually, it was kind of weird when I looked at it. I was like, why do I need to double it? Did I really need to? But no, this one should be enough, and that's enough, and this is enough. Kleber is kind of enough, because we supplement with a bit of legendary, I hope. Fulgora is not quite enough, because we only have 720. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times 6 times 60. Now each of those are 60. There, 720. So 2 more builds, then I'm happy. I need 8 of these builds, these little clusters. But I also have some legendary, which is also nice. Aquilo is missing. And what else do we have? Volcanus, Gleba, Fulgora. Space, the normal science, this is working. Ooh, this might be a little bit of an issue here. This is working, this is working, this is working. This one might need a few more, because they should be working at 60 times 6 because of legendary. There, times 4 ships. That should be more than enough, but they're not actually working at this rate. This one, let's see, this looks like it's just in an idle or in a sort of steady state where it hasn't built up anything. So what this one is actually producing is here, 2.5 over the last 10 minutes. Okay, so it was up here for some reason. Oh, right, that's probably, it was building up. Here it built, and then it filled up the internal buffer, and then it just got started again, and then start burning through the buffer, and now it's just, this is more of a steady state. It's still actually too much. This is probably more correctly the steady state, 2.4. So if it's making 2,400 divided by 60, then it's only 40. So if we say that it's 40 per second times 6 because it's legendary, times 4 ships, that's 960. So this might actually be just what we need. And this here, we have 2 of these ships, and this one is again jammed because some idiot did this again. So annoying. That guy, not welcome in my factories. This one is chugging. There we go. This is producing 120. I hope. Yeah, 3.6. That's 60%. Oh, this is only 60. Yeah. Yeah, so this is 60 times 6 legendary. Then I need 3 of these ships times 3. I only have 2 of the ships, so need 1 more ship, 1 more yellow ship, and then we're good with that. What else? Then there's nothing else, right? So the only thing we're missing now is the cryogenic science, which will be on either Friday or Sunday, and then on the Prometheum science, which will kill our base when we get it. How's ships for UPS? Probably fine. The ships that are killing us are these ones, because of all the crap out here. There's just way too much crap out here. So not there, but when they get 500,000 kilometers out, then it gets really nasty. Anyway, I'm going to be wrapping up now because I have to get up at 6 o'clock to catch a flight. So want to get a little bit of sleep. Thank you very much for joining. Not exactly a hype train today, we can say, but we did get an awesome hype train yesterday. So it was actually completely awesome, perfect. Getting a double hype train yesterday and nothing today is much better than having 1 yesterday and 1 today, because I couldn't be staying up late anyway. I am maybe streaming on Friday because I come home Friday afternoon. I want to go out on Friday, but I don't think I can because I'm just arriving home. And then, but I'll definitely be back on Sunday. So thank you very much for joining. I'll see you guys later this week. I have prepared 1 video for you during the week, so that will be on Wednesday. And there's also a new video today about the Megabase. So thank you for watching. Good night. Take care and stay effective, everyone.